Hello, this is Molly Reamer, and your Rituals of Returning video this week. It's actually our second new video for the new year, but this video focuses on this liminal space between Yule and Imbolc, where we are still in what I am calling the Cauldron of the Cave. So you already know that I'm very interested in what I deem cave time, which is the call that we feel during the winter to retreat, to replenish, to renew in the darkness divine, to sink, settle, slip, and soften into the waiting place before the birth of something precious, or really just the waiting place to replenish ourselves before we start with the inspiration and the creativity and the new seeds of new beginnings and all of the ideas come bursting forth. It is time to retreat into the cave and listen to the crone of winter and what she has to teach us there. So this very brief little video is just going to be briefly about the Cauldron of the Cave. I created this new little set of cauldron cards for the seasonal. So our Wheel of the Year for 2026 has the 8 classic holidays, the traditional holidays on it. But in the 3 years prior to this, we've worked with a 12 goddess wheel of the year. So we've had a goddess every month and we've switched between them. So this 8 goddess wheel is going to allow us a little bit more expansiveness, a little bit more time to soften in and to learn from each of the goddesses on the wheel. But I also felt like there was room for the 4, shall we say, missing spaces in the 12 months. And so I came up with this concept of the Cauldron of the Cave, the Cauldron of Creation, the Cauldron of the Crossroads, and the Cauldron of, I'm missing one of them. Oh well. I'll have to get them back out. I have 4. There's the Cauldron of Change. Okay, Cauldron of Creation, Cauldron of Change, Cauldron of the Crossroads, and Cauldron of the Cave, because I'm also inspired by this imagery of the cauldron and steeping with your own wisdom. So right now, in this liminal space, this interstitial time, this time between, we are in the Cauldron of the Cave. So the theme to take into this cauldron with you. So the idea here is that you're taking things into the cauldron, your own personal cauldron of being to steep with. And this theme that you are steeping with is rest, replenishment, and dream incubation. This is hermit time or crone time, the crone of winter, time to listen, time to withdraw to the hearth fire, time to reflect and contemplate. The task here is to forgive the darkness and embrace rest. And I might also add to embrace the fallow times, to forgive the fallow times, to forgive the pause, and make peace with being unfinished, with not getting it all done, wrapped up and finished, because life, this is a living practice. Life is a living experience of unfolding and arising. So we don't get finished, and it's okay, and we can make our peace. That's the task, is to make our peace with being unfinished. So some affirmations are: I sink into steeping. I allow myself to replenish and restore. And I also just like the alliteration of I settle, soften, sink, and slip into rest and renewal. I settle, soften, slip, and sink into rest and renewal. And so that is a good one as well. And so lots to consider here. If you're a member of the Goddess Magic Mystery School on Patreon, I have a little, very simple, I was keeping this one really simple format-wise. I have a little additional practice booklet for you with some more about the Cauldron of the Cave. So you will find that attached with this video if you're part of the Goddess Magic Mystery School. And so that's available to you there, as well as you already got the printable cards with the Wheel of the Year. And I made mine into a little packet, like I like to do, with some of my past information. So this is going to be our Oracle. And this one was really perfect. The cards I just drew for my previous word decks, and I got review, which is exactly right. This is a time to review, to rest, to renew, to replenish, to restore, and to really reevaluate. We think of the new year as the time to be starting new projects, but it's also time to be evaluating what has gone before and what you want to carry forward across the threshold into the new year. So it's time to evaluate and review. An affirmation: I know what I need. So when we make space to pause, when we make time to sit in the Cauldron of the Cave, when we make time to review, when we make time to listen, we often discover that, yes, it is true. I know what I need. You know what you need. We know what we need when we make space to listen. And then a nice affirmation, one of our affirmations from the Lilith month: which is still extending into this month. I claim my power. I claim my power, and I know what I need. And then let's see which one I want to. We're going to go with this one first. And this is just a random draw, too, from the cards that I created, from all Inspiration Oracle cards that I created all last year. And this is actually one from even the year before that. And I put them all together in a little bag, and then I pulled some out to keep with my Inspiration Oracle or my Goddess card buffets for each month. Sometimes we need to remember that our trembling fingers, our shaking voices, the hot tears rising to fill our eyes, our fast heartbeats and stifled howls are parts of our passion for life too. We are full color humans, feeling and seeing and holding it all, sometimes too much, sometimes just right, sometimes not enough, and yet still here. Breaths in our bellies, hands on our hearts, feet on the earth, holding on. So may you embrace your whole self. May you embrace your whole self. The flawed and the frantic, the flourishing and the fabulous. May you embrace your whole self. And then we're actually going to close with this little one. A little reminder here about daily practice. Each day, an opportunity to connect anew. Each day, the chance to begin again. Each day, the possibility to step into the sacred and to be present with what is now. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to a new year. May you make some space to review. May you make some space to steep in the cauldron of the cave, the cauldron of your own wisdom, the cauldron of renewal, the cauldron of your own life. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year, and keep living your magic, everybody. Bye-bye.